G'day guys, thanks for coming back for post 8. I hope you've had an awesome week so far. Last week the focus was on asking the questions, so just basically putting yourself out there and just seeing what happens, because you would be surprised how often it isn't actually going to be what you think it's going to turn out to be. There's been many times where I've simply asked a question and said, "Can you do this or can we have that?" And so many people go, "Yep, cool," which is awesome. But I think it's really important as well, and the focus that I want to do this week is what to do when you inevitably get a rejection. Now, if you have tried this experiment this week, odds are at some stage someone has said no. If you haven't tried it, then it is most likely because of your fear that someone will say no. And so I wanted to chat a little bit about rejection and how to deal with that. Now, rejection is one of those really painful things, isn't it? I mean, honestly, you think of any given scenario where you've been rejected, whether it be for a date or whether you've just simply asked the question, you feel really empty. It's a really nasty feeling. I've been rejected quite a lot. As a matter of fact, when I was little, when I was in primary school, I didn't have a great big circle of friends. I was actually picked on a little bit in primary school, and rejection is something that really, really hits at me, or used to hit at me, because it basically said to me that I was worthless, that I wasn't worth what I thought that maybe I was worth, and it really stopped me asking questions for a long time. Eventually, I was able to kind of get over that, and I think the way that I was able to is putting yourself out there, and it is part of asking that question. But if you actually go out and you look for rejection, now this sounds really funny, I know, but if you look for a bit of rejection every now and again, you will actually get used to it, and you'd be surprised how often it's not actually as bad as you think. Now, I was having a little bit of a look around to try and find a couple of videos that maybe you guys would be interested in. One of them is Zhao Zhang, and he goes through 100 days of rejection. I'm going to link his TED Talk underneath this video, so check out that link. Really, really interesting stuff, and he talks about exactly that. And I'm thinking what I might try and do is a very similar thing. I wouldn't mind actually trying to get a bit of a video of myself asking a couple of things that I know I'm going to get rejected on, or very likely going to be rejected on. And I just want you guys to have a bit of a view and just see what is happening in that exchange and how it's handling, and hopefully take some of that fear out of rejection, because honestly, having that fear, it's going to stop you from doing so many things. If you're stopping yourself from doing something because you think you're going to be rejected, or you think you're going to be told no, that's a huge waste. You are a really awesome person. And the thing is, if you can move past that fear of being told no or thinking that it's not going to happen, one, you might be surprised, and two, even if they say no, there's other ways to do things. There's always ways around it. So don't not do something because you think you're going to get told no, because quite simply, that's not the be all end all. Often, if you actually ask why, there's reasons. Sometimes they'll say, "Oh, I would otherwise, but this or that or the other," and it might actually turn out that it's not as black and white as you thought. It's not simply a no. Sometimes it can be a yes later. So simply persevering with it, sometimes that can give you that little bit of boost up. So I'm going to try and do that this week. You're going to see a couple of videos popping up. I'm just going to try and find some random people and ask them questions that I know they're going to reject. And they'll either really surprise me and they may actually give it to me, or they're going to reject it. And you're going to see how that exchange goes down. And I really encourage you to try the same. Just do something similar. Check out this guy's video. I hope you have an awesome week. Thank you for all the likes and the shares and everything that's been coming through. I've had a couple of people DM me. A couple of guys have really been struggling at the moment, and they've said that they've gotten some value from these videos. That is all that this is about. You're never going to pay a cent for anything that I post up here. This is all about making you feel good, so please share it around. Please give it to anyone you want. And have an awesome week, guys. You are totally awesome. Good on yous.